All right, let's talk about failure. Specifically, we're going to perform a digital autopsy on a $100 million AI project inside a massive global retailer. It was supposed to be a revolution, but instead, it became one heck of a cautionary tale.
Okay, just get a load of this contrast. On one side, you've got the dream, right? A super smart AI creating the perfect personalized shopping trip for millions of people. And on the other side, the brutal reality. Over $100 million just gone, written off as a total loss.
So that's the $100 million question, isn't it? How on earth does a project with that much cash, that much hype, and all this cutting edge tech just completely faceplant? Well, that's what we're here to do. Let's dig in and find the real root causes. Now, this thing didn't just explode overnight. Nope. The failure was more of a slow burn, caused by some really fundamental mistakes that were baked into the project's DNA from day one. Let's pull them apart piece by piece. So let's meet our first villain. And it's not a person, it's a mindset. It's called tech solutionism. It's this super dangerous idea that you can just throw fancy, expensive technology at a complex business problem and poof, it'll magically be solved. You know, it's like buying the most expensive workout gear and just assuming you'll get fit without ever creating a workout plan. And this is where it gets really wild. The company basically bought this AI system because they saw their competitors doing it. They were chasing the hype. The actual strategy for how to use it, that came way later. It's like building a high-performance engine and then trying to figure out what kind of car to jam it into. Totally backwards. Which brings us perfectly to our second villain, data illusions. Oh, man, this one is such a classic trap. It's the belief that just because you're sitting on a mountain of data, you've struck gold. But as this company found out the really, really hard way, having a lot of data is not the same as having good data. So what did their data actually look like? Well, it was a complete and utter mess. You had bits and pieces locked away in different departments. Tons of it was inconsistent or just plain wrong, and it had none of the context you actually need for real personalization. They were feeding this powerful, brilliant AI a steady diet of digital garbage. And you know the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. So you've got these two huge problems, right? A flawed mindset and terrible data. But they didn't just sit there. They started a catastrophic domino effect that sent shockwaves through the entire company. Let's watch how it all fell apart. And this is basically the blueprint for disaster. It starts with the bad data, which causes the shiny new AI to make totally bizarre recommendations. Then the employees see this, and naturally, they lose all faith in it, so they start creating their own workarounds. And the result? The customer experience doesn't just stall, it actually gets worse. And that was the final nail in the coffin. Okay, but the point of this whole thing isn't just to look at the train wreck. The real goal is to learn from it, right? By sifting through this wreckage, we can find some incredibly valuable lessons that could stop the next $100 million disaster from happening. And this chart? Wow, this chart just says it all. Would you look at that? A full 50%, half of the failure came down to a flawed strategy. Another 35% was just bad data. Notice what's not on this chart. The technology itself. It almost always comes down to the people, the planning, and the process. You know, there's a quote that just absolutely nails the core lesson here. Technology is a tool, not a strategy. The moment you forget that, you already started to fail. This company treated their AI like it was the strategy, like it was some magic fix in a box, and that was their fatal error. So I'll just leave you with this question. As you look at your next big, shiny innovation, ask yourself, have you built the strategy first? Because getting that right is the razor-thin line that separates a true breakthrough from a $100 million blunder.